Yeah, obviously very pleasing to put together a partnership with Harry Brook out there. I think they bowled really well early, some pretty good balls in there, and I think the way Ben Duckett played early on as well, it could have been worse too. So I think from where we are and to where we're finishing the day, the boys are really happy with sort of what's on the scoreboard, and yeah, it should be a good day tomorrow to hopefully push a button in the morning and put them under some pressure.
How hard do you feel you and Harry had to fight and scrap for those runs? Because it's not as though they were throwing you many freebies. There was still plenty of chances, ball doing a bit, and we had to really dig into them.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I think on a pitch like that, whenever there's pace in the wicket, and I think the guys were bowling at some pretty good pace too. I think it obviously provides us challenges as well, but I think it's just having a clarity of how you want to go about putting together an innings where I want to look to score. So I think it kind of it's quite a similar pitch to batting on somewhere like the Oval in terms of that bounce and carry. So I think for me it was just having that real clarity on where I wanted to put the bowler under pressure and where the main threats were as well. So I think that's kind of tried to keep it as simple as possible and go about my innings like that.
Any part of you that's cursing your luck a little bit? I think New Zealand dropped 6 catches today, and you go to an absolute whirlwind.
Yeah, I know. Brookie, as I was walking off, he actually came and apologised to me. I was wondering why he made a beeline. But no, I think it's just how the game goes. I think I was actually umpire's call LBW as well. So I think it kind of just goes in roundabouts. And another day, I mean, that was a great catch from Glenn. Fair play to him. So another day that goes for 4 and you're off and running and hopefully making a really big one. But yeah, it's funny how the game goes.
Vish, go ahead, please.
What's it like playing with Brook? Because you've actually not done it now for the Test, that was only year 12.
Yeah, it's good fun. It's pretty relaxed. I think he's very good in terms of he's just stays in his bar. He might hit a great shot and he's very just level about it. He kind of say shot boy and he's like, oh, cheers. So yeah, it's good fun, and I think the longer you bat together, you kind of just have a little joke in the middle. But I think yeah, he's good to watch at the other end, and yeah, he's just good. He stays in his bubble very much so. But yeah, good fun to bat with.
You've obviously done many different roles. Three starters on your Red Bull career, 6. What was it like? I suppose the other part of the key differences between the two is it feels like today, for example, the situation was staring you in the face.
Yeah, I think the biggest difference for me, I think if I was batting at 3, I would have tried to play in exactly the same way as I did today. I think the biggest difference for me at 3 is you kind of set the tone a lot more. If you play well, you can put your team in a really strong position going forward, and that's also the fun thing sometimes about 6 as well. Is, sometimes you might come in 350 for 4, and it might be your job to really push the game forward, or other times you might be trying to sort of rebuild something and not even thinking about how far behind you are, but just trying to build a partnership together and trying not to look too far ahead, but you can get your team out of a bit of a tricky situation. So I think both roles are good fun, and yeah, just slightly different. But I think in terms of the way I went and played today, it was probably exactly the same as I would have if I was at 3.
We'll go Chris, Nick, Lawrence, and then finish with Hector.
Ollie, you got 4 runs today, you did the whole series in Pakistan. Just how kind of satisfying is it to make a big contribution today on that front?
Yeah, I think Pakistan was obviously, it wasn't an easy tour. Obviously missing out on that road in the first one obviously didn't set the tone too well for me. And then the pitches weren't easy to bat on as well, and I wasn't good enough in that series to find a way. So I think just for me it was really important just to draw a line under it. I didn't want to come into this series putting myself under too much pressure to make a big score early, because I think that's not always what works as cricketers. Almost if you want it too much, that can be your biggest downfall, I find, in a way. So I think I worked hard at my game before coming out here, did some good work back at the Oval. So I felt in a good place, and I knew if I can sort of get in the right headspace and really focus on how to bat on these wickets, then I can start the series strong. And fortunately I did today, and hopefully I can kick on. Yeah, I want to be number 3. I want to keep trying to make it my own. I think I've done obviously had obviously my self-analysis. I've had too many low scores there, but I've also managed to put together some good knocks this year, batting at 3, and it's a job that I want to do going forward. And I feel like my skill set is still developing, and I'm becoming a better player as we go along. So it's definitely a job that I want to keep doing, batting at number 3.